Here we go. Welcome, sketchbook heroes and sketchbook warriors. We're here battling again. We've got some simple bird drawings, and we've got a bunch of other drawings we're going to be taking out tonight. Let me share my screen and show you what we're going to be doing. Here we go. Share my screen. Screen 2. Here we go. We're going to be drawing this bird, and then we're going to be drawing that's turkey. We're going to be drawing this other bird. So we're going to start off with birds. Probably one of these, a little small, but we'll try to clarify and draw it out. One of those birds. Then we got that one, a nice silhouette. That's going to help. That's actually a really nice one. And we got these rats. And then we got this gift box that's right in the middle. We'll draw the gift box. We can draw the cup too, but we'll see if anybody has questions on it. And that cup, definitely we jumped to more intermediate to advanced on this. Definitely just shapes, but we got some shading in there. It's going to be a challenge. And then let's see, we got these. I don't know if we'll get to these. We'll see. We'll probably in this definitely challenge. We'll see how much energy I have by that time. Because I really don't see intermediate kind of drawings. It really just jumps to more advanced stuff. So that's it. Why don't we get started? Oh, oops, I just closed it. We'll get started with this this little bird. I've already broken it down, so we're just going to jump into this. Let's jump in. All right, welcome. Here we go. Turn this upside down. So we're going to start off with our circle. Kind of think of an idea, your space that you're going to be using. So here's our paper. Did I turn it up? Are we still upside down? There we go. That's better. All right. So just practice drawing circles, right? And then don't worry about making it perfect. We're sketching, really. You can see how I'm just kind of like you're landing an airplane. We got some first-time people here tonight. And just sketch it, right? You can build upon it. If you think it needs to be built a little more on one side, you can do it a little more on one side, and then just build that. And then we know that the body is going to be about half the size of this circle here. So the body is going to be a little bit more than half. So I know it's going to come down to right about there. So here's my circle, 1:1, and a circle, no matter how big or small you make it, it's going to be 1:1, right? That's the ratio. It's going to have the same height, same width. And we can break it into fourths. So I didn't do that. I could have done that. Well, I'll break it into fourths for you. It's something I usually do. And see the axis lines. There it is. And then see how that helps. That does not seem like, oh yeah, there we go. I'm just reading some of the old chats. All right, so feel free to throw stuff in the chat here. I can see my chat. I can see people here. That's okay if you don't share your screen. All right, there it is. Now I can see the body. All right, the body is going to be in this area, a little bit to the left of our axis line here, a little bit to the left. And I know it comes down, well, the whole thing comes down here with the feet. The body's kind of like this kind of shape in here. Actually, I'll make it, I'll simplify it. It's kind of like this oval shape right in here. And it goes past, see, I see this right here, this end of my circle, and I know it goes past that circle. Now, if you do look at the picture, it does have grids on it, squares, but you can see by the time you draw the squares in this method, depends on how accurate you want to get. Then you can, if you really want to be accurate, then you would draw the squares out, and that really helps. But I like this method because you can draw a lot faster. Here we go. All right, so there's my center. Here, the beak actually, I would say the beak is in this area here. So it's already kind of like using the squares. So in this quadrant here, I have the beak. The beak kind of goes right in here in this area, right in that piece of pie. It's like a big piece of pepperoni in this pie that's cut into fourths right in here. I just drew an oval that's going to go there. The other eye, there's going to be one eye that's going to be in here. It goes over kind of like, I would say, probably a little bit lower. That's good. That's good. Yeah, it does have a lot of head space. I'm looking at the head space. And the squares on there are probably confusing me a little bit. There's probably an eye right in here. And I'm just sketching it in. I just placement. And then the other eye, trying to get it to line up. The top of that eye, the bottom of that eye. Getting things to line up. And that eye is going to be right in here. And I'm just sketching it in really lightly. Really lightly. I actually would probably draw lighter than this usually, just to start off. And this, you should, when you practice, this can be you can do this really quickly. It seems like extra work, but it's just blocking everything out. It's blocking in, you know, like here now I can put one feather here, one feather's going to be there, another one behind it, a little bit of overlapping, and I can give this back part a little bit of shape. I know that there's going to be a wing in here. It's about that shape. And then we've got the feet. We got one little half circle, another little, it's actually a little bit smaller half circle because it's further away. This one's closer. It's how artists create space. This foot is a little bigger. It's going to be about in this space right here. And then this other foot right in there. And then I look at the whole, right? I see the parts in the whole and how it all fits, and am I happy with it? And there's going to be like a little bit of a little shape in there for the wattle or whatever that is at the top. All right, I think I blocked it out pretty good. I like the way it fits on my paper. You know, if I zoom out, I'd have to move my camera, but you can see how it all fits on my paper. If I wanted to draw it smaller, I know I can draw this thing smaller. If I wanted to, I can see the head and I can see the body. It's gonna be right there, and I can make it like one that's really far away, using how artists create space, size, changing the size and the placement. Looks like there's a little bird way in the back. All right, here we go. So we're going to start off with the eyes. Let's start off with the eyes. It's the window to the soul, and it's really just the top part, and then we've got a cheek. So from right in here, actually, let's go over here, and we're going to go all the way around above that right there. I already kind of know it's right there, and then there's the cheek, that kind of that cheek, right? So it's half that oval, and then that cheek. So there's the eye. That's the outline. Then we're going to do the pupil part. So let me see, how's it looking on my screen? And if you have any questions, there you go in the chat. There we go. I'm going to make sure I can see that on my screen up here. Oops. There we go. Now we're going to do the pupil of this eye. The pupil it just kind of echoes that outside part, but it goes on this side. And it just kind of goes like right in here like that. So you're just echoing that outside part, but right in here. Just boom. And this really, the pupil really goes behind, speaking of overlapping, would be behind here, would continue. But we don't do that. But you should use your imagination here and kind of imagine it going behind inside the skull as it turns around. And then we have the highlight of the eye, a little circle right in here. I'll put that little circle, that highlight, because the eye is reflective. You want to show that in there, and then you just shade everything else. So yeah, parts and whole, and the whole and the parts, and seeing, that's an important skill, actually, being able to see the parts and the whole and go from generic or general to specific, right? Seeing the big parts and like an outline, and then from there, you know, going smaller. I'm going to go ahead and work on this beak, a little bit. So the beak does come out to kind of like a rounded point right in here. There's my rounded point. That's going to be right in here, that rounded point of nose. And then it kind of comes into a little bit of a smile in there. See how I'm just adding it to that oval that I had in there. And then it comes around. I can see that. And then it's got two little, the nostrils. It's got one right here in the center. And it's kind of like at that angle. Look at, see, I do see that angle. See that? And then I do see this angle. It's almost vertical on this side. And it's a little smaller right in there, the nostril, right? That angle of that shape. And then that's it. This kind of comes underneath. Now I'm going to go really dark. So I don't know, I just go ahead. I like where it's at, and then I can go in here and go darker. And if I wanted to get a marker, I can go in there and really, you know, really make it dark, and because this is what you see. You see the finished work. You don't see all this little sketchy stuff. You know, when you see finished work, and everybody tries to do the finished work without doing the work underneath, the foundation. Right. So you see the finished work, but you don't, you know, or you go to a football game, you see everybody kind of like doing their, oh, I wish I could play football like that, or whatever game, choose your sport. But you don't see the practice. You don't see the stuff, the stuff that goes on underneath, like this here. All right. He does have like that little waddle. So we need to get that waddle in there. And it's really just an oval shape, kind of like a circle, a stretched circle right in here. See, I'm putting it right in here. Then I can see how it's attached. So once I just sketched it in real quick, I can attach it Just go and then go around the wattle, that little sketch I just did. And because I see that shape, I can feel that form. I can feel that form, right, as it kind of like goes around, right? And then I know I'm going to have to bring this eye over. I'm going to bring that eye over because that eye now is behind here, this part. So I'm going to attach that. I can see this cheek on this side. We're going to go over here on this other side, kind of make it light, make sure it lines up. And here we go, that cheek right in here on that side. Bam. And I can already see my eye in there. And I know I'm going to have to move it over, right? I know because this, every time you draw something, it's like a puzzle, seeing all these shapes and how they fit together. And once you kind of like get your puzzle pieces together, and it's like, okay, oh, this puzzle piece needs to get a little moved over. And then you just move it over. You don't get bent out of shape. Oh my gosh, my things are out of proportion. And sometimes you don't see it, and that's okay. And sometimes your mind is somewhere else. You don't know where to focus. So that's what wrap really helps with. You want to focus on ratios, get that down till it becomes automatic. You don't think about it, you just do it. And then you look at angles. We really haven't talked about angles, the axis angles, just really simple angles. It does get more complex till you learn about perspective. Perspective, that's the whole angles on steroids. Perspective. I love perspective. Perspective is simple, but hard. Yeah, it's simple, but hard. All right, so this highlight on this side is bigger. This eye is bigger. This eye is bigger than this one because it's closer, and this one's closer to us. So this artist is using some little tricks here. We're gonna make the highlight even bigger too. I'm gonna make the highlight bigger. So this eye is bigger than this one. If you notice, I can measure it. That's about that space, and then you can see here if I put that there. Well, I just do it automatically without even thinking about it. Just do it, and then just shade it all in right here. Just shading it in for now. Oh, I do have my iPad. I don't know if a person was asking for my iPad. I don't have my pencil right now. We can do that. Actually, we can do the next drawing on my iPad. Oh, no, we can't. I don't have my pencil right now. But I do have the iPad. All right, there's the other eye. We're happy. I think it's looking good. Let's get that eyebrow in there. We got two eyebrows at an angle. We notice the angle of that shape. Oh, that angle. And then this angle too of that shape. And then I can actually put that shape in here. I can see how it's going to fit in there. There's one eyebrow. There's the other eyebrow. And he's like, woohoo, glad Thanksgiving. I survived Thanksgiving. But hey, guess what? Here comes Christmas. Oh no, can you have a ham? All right. So now I can break this shape into smaller shapes, and I can see this little thing. Actually, there's one shape here. And then another shape up on top. But you want to see the big shapes, right? When you're in a forest, lost in a forest, you want to climb as high as you can to get you don't want to get lost in the leaves of a tree or even lost in the trees. You want to jump up and see all the trees together first and then break it down into smaller pieces. So there's one, two, and there's a third little piece back here, right there. And I can see now I can break this down into smaller pieces. See the big piece first and then the smaller pieces, and then I can go in here and put all those pieces together. A little roadway, here we go, little Fast and the Furious, go around here, and there goes that shape, go around that shape, and then go around this shape, and then this one actually swings back like that. It's not so round. This one has a little bit more of a point, and then from there it goes on to raceway. Goes around the track, around the head, trying to get it around that track. You know, we already have our circle there, and almost like we're tracing, go all the way around the outside, around the outside. I don't know. Talking. This should be the mind stream. This is where I get I got the idea for the mind stream. So this really actually is the mind stream. This is kind of, we're practicing. The lessons are here, but you got to know the lessons. I got to get the lessons out. The lessons will be short. The lessons will be like 1 to 5 minutes at the most. I really want to keep the lesson short because it really is, we're just practicing here. But what you got to know the lesson, you got to practice the lesson, and we're putting all the lessons together here. So I'll try to get our little turkey here. All right, cool. And here we go. And this is how we do more advanced drawings. I mean, we get from right now, you're looking at this, but if you want to draw something a little more advanced, or you want to draw this, it's the same method. See the big shapes and how the big shapes compare to the other shapes and how it all puts together, right? So the more you practice, you can progress to this. See, you can progress to something a little more challenging, and you can do it. Si se puede. Si se puede. You got to believe. You got to believe, Boli. It's all about believing, having that mindset. If you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, either way, you're going to be right. You gotta believe it and practice it and say, hey, Chavez did it. If that guy can do it, I can do it too, right? All right, so here's the neck. Here. Every time I see a circle, I think of it as a clock. Down here, it's at 6 o'clock. And then over here, what's that? 5 o'clock. Over here on that, a little bit like 6:30, maybe close to 7, right in there. And then that's where the neck is, kind of. And then it does push out slightly. And then it wraps around here. And then it's got a little bit of a rump. So I can pull it in slightly in here. If I want to try, I'm trying to shoot for accuracy. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, it's okay. It's kind of like an oval shape, but there's these little pushes and pulls, like a little piece of clay, right? And if you see it and you can kind of like, oh, okay, adjust it a little bit just by pushing it and squeezing it and getting a different shape, just by doing that, right? So here we go. Let's get that body in there. And again, practice. That's how you get to Carnegie Hall, right? Yes, the driver. That's actually how it goes. You guys trying to get to Carnegie Hall, and yes, a taxi driver. Hey, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Yeah, you practice. There's the body, and the main feather. There's 3 of them in the back. The main one is this one here, and I can see it. I'm going to squeeze it in here, and I can kind of see it goes around in that space. And it does taper. So it's kind of like there's a circle here, and then it's like if a circle and a triangle got married, their kids would kind of look like this. Because if it continued here, you can see this triangle that kind of would continue, right? And seeing these angles, and then the circle in there. You're seeing this is why shapes. Would be a compound shape, right? Like compound words where you put 2 words to make a new word. This is a compound shape where you have a circle and a triangle, and there it is. And that's how it's constructed, right? There it is. And then the little feather in the back. This is a really good one for beginners. And you get the ideas, the concepts, because these are simple shapes. It does get more complex. The shapes get more complex. We're like, oh wow, like really, you're really pushing the shapes. Even though it's an oval here, then you get more complex shapes, right? It just gets more complex. Here's like an oval, and it just gets more complex. So, you got to know where your level's at. And here's the next feather. There we go. And drawing with a purpose. Why are you drawing? For the fun of it, to learn or to observe, to communicate, to express yourself. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention, that's what it was. Somebody posted, here, before I do, somebody posted something about Zentangles, but let me break this down. I did put an oval here first, but really this is just like 3 circles. Let me see, there's going to be 1, 2, 3. You can see those 3 circles, and that's where the feather kind of comes in. The wing kind of goes around. See that circle there? 1, 2, and then 3, and then goes bam. There it is. See, just like that. Where eventually you don't have to do those little circles, but that helps. You can see how it's kind of constructed. Right? There's the wing. There's the tail feather. Shake the tail feather. There it is. My notes. These are the people wanting to learn how to draw food, clothing. Definitely. Yeah, that won't be till next month, and it'll probably be on a Tuesday or actually it's more than a mind stream. It's I call it. It's actually the mastermind group. The mastermind group. All right, here we go. Let's draw the feet. This one's closer to us. It's bigger. And it's right here on this side. Notice how it fits right in here, where it starts, where it stops, how low it goes. and then just boom, put it in. Those 3 points, right? I saw where it starts, where it stops, and how low it goes. And then it's really just like an oval that goes under here. And if you were to use your imagination, see it as a, as if we're to continue underneath this shape, a little bit of overlapping or underlapping. There's one. Let's do the other one, a little smaller over here, right next to it. Like an oval. There's the other one. We're almost done. And if you're ahead of me, you feel free to draw a worm, draw another one. You got to know where you're at. If I'm going too slow, if I'm going too fast. If I'm going too fast, please tell me to slow down, because I will speed up. This should be for beginners right now.
Don't tell him to slow down. It doesn't help. I've tried.
No, when we go later on in the evening, I do speed it up. But right now, this is beginners. I will slow down. I will repeat. If you want me to draw this over, I'll draw this over. Right now, the first hour. Ellen. Yeah, I will slow down. Like, I'm going pretty slow. I don't think I'm going that fast, or am I? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I
No, not now. But yeah. I think I got a speech last time. I suggested you slow down about how it's good to go fast.
Yes, it is. Sometimes you do have to go fast. And yeah.
I think you're going at a fine pace.
Thank you. Thank you. There it is. Oh, we're done. Use the fork, Luke. All right, here we go. And you can color it, you can shade it, you can add another background here and put a farm in here. I don't know. I'm just using my imagination here. A square little shape here, angles. This angle here, that angle there. Put a little roof on it. I don't think a little haystack back here or something. I don't know. A little farm. He's on the farm. Turkey on the farm. Angles. Another window back here. I don't know. Just drawing a background using your imagination. And if you want to trees or.
Eladio?
Yes.
If you think turkey is for Thanksgiving, then what do you have for Christmas?
Ham. No, I don't know. You can have turkey for.
Well, you personally, I was meant.
Me personally, yeah, you can have. I usually have tamales. That way we have something to open. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, ham, turkey sometimes, yeah. But we've been mostly having ham. Let me see, a little silo, I think, back here. I don't know. I can't remember. I'd have to do some research on what kind of little farmhouse here. Sometimes you got to do research. This is what I'm doing from memory. So, yeah, I don't know. Turkey's good. I don't usually do the cooking, so sometimes I do. I have cooked turkey. I have cooked ham, but not regularly. All right. There's our turkey. All right, cool. All right, let's go. Let's share our screen and draw the other birds. There we go. All right, how many people we got here tonight? We got, I just saw it. Oh, there it is. 19, 18, 19. Let's see, here we go. Oops. So the next drawing, what is this? Oh, these birds. Oh, these are really small birds. I should probably do a search for bird drawing. And we've drawn birds. This one could probably do really quickly. It's almost like this bird. And I think we've drawn this bird, but it's really, you can see the shapes. You can see how they put the shape there, that other shape, and then they actually ignored all the sketch underneath and did their own shape. Actually, that happens. This one's actually pretty neat. It's a sparrow. Jack Sparrow. You can see the shapes. Oh, bird drawing. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I mean, ignorance is a choice nowadays. You want to learn how to draw birds, it's out there. Everything's out there. You just got to look for it. Google it. Google it. Just Google it. How do you draw a bird? And then just little by little, you grow. You really grow. Ooh, this is really neat. Yeah, look at these shapes and how it gets more complex. You get these complex shapes. Oh, that one's actually pretty neat. That one. See, this is bigger, a little more You can try something that sometimes you'll get it, sometimes you'll hit it, sometimes you won't. Sometimes you think it's something that looks really hard, but hey, it's not that. Turns out to be easier than you think. But it really is just the practice. You really just got to do it. Oh, that one's cute. But I didn't put any of these up. Oh, look at that one. You can see the circle shape of the head, the body, almost like a triangle. See that triangle? If you can see that triangle, that really helps. Even though it's rounded, yeah, you can see that triangle. Yeah, learn to see the parts in the whole, the big parts too, like the whole big piece is one piece, almost like a diamond shape, this bird there. Another circle head bird, similar to what we drew. Say, hey, I can draw that now. I can see. You can see the connection of the eyes. These eyes are a little bit more of an angle. Oh, look at that. Somebody drawing that turkey. Yeah, if your drawing looks like that, that's fine. Eventually you get it. You just got to practice, and then eventually you can actually do something like that. You can. That would be good. This one's good too. You just got to practice. Eventually you get it. All right. I don't see. I like that other one. That's where was that? Ooh, look, that's cute. I think we're going to shoot for something a little more realistic. Oh, that one's good. I don't know. This is why you should post pictures. A good picture. Let me see. Should we go with that one? It's something a little. I don't want to scare our beginners off. The legs look a little funky on that one. Where was the other one that I liked? One of the first ones. Back. I like that one. Back. That one. Now, okay, yeah, that's it. All right. We'll go ahead and do this one. Some things to look out for. There's some things in the chat. Let's take a look. Where's my chat at? Chat at. Oh, I don't see my chat. All right. Oh, I'll take a look at the chat right now. Maybe. Oh, there it is in my chat. I vote for toucan if it's easy enough. All right, cool. Ooh, oops, thank you. All right, cool. I see it now. I see that. There you go. All right. I like Eladia's tamale joke. Mr. Eladio posted a connection to the original picture in the chat. It also on the meetup page. Yes, it is on the meetup page. Oh, cool. You guys are helping each other out. All right. Toucan, request for the toucan. If anybody can, you can. Do the toucan. Should be a dance. Yeah, there's that toucan. It's not too bad. I like that toucan. There was another one that was colorful already. Where's that toucan? There, that one. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, see that complex shape. You can almost see a circle in here and kind of how like it wraps around in there. And then this angle in that side. That one's pretty realistic. It's doable. It's doable, but you see, you got to see these complex shapes. Let's do this. Copy image address. There it is. And it was requested by one of our regulars. If you're a regular, I listen to you. I'll listen to you. Oops, not that one. Come on. If anyone can, you can. Come on. There it is. Copy image, and English is my second language actually. So copy image address. There we go. Let's try it one more time. Paste. Damn, I think I see it. There it is. Ooh, look at that. Very nice. Let me put the toucan in there. Thanks, Eladio. Got to go for now. All right, Pearl, we'll see you next week on Tuesday. You come up on Tuesdays. We'll see you. There we go. There's the toucan. All right, let's break this down. Okay, so if you're a beginner, I'm going to try to really break it down there. It's 7:22. We did pretty good. Doing pretty good our time. Let's go to annotate. Let's see. Let's get some of these shapes in here. I start off with a circle. You can see almost the circle in here, and see what's happening. Actually, ooh, that's the circle right there. And then you can kind of see the circle shape here, and then how it swoops up and around. Let's get some angles in here. You can almost see this angle here. Well, there, look at that. And then this angle, like right in there, kind of straight. Is
that a toucan?
It is, isn't it? Oh, no, it's a parrot.
That's a parrot.
Oh, no, you're right. That is a parrot. Oh, it was vote for a toucan. Sorry. My left brain, right brain. Okay, let me see. Where's our toucan? That is not a toucan. Question the teacher. That's awesome. The moon is the sun. Let me see, clear all drawings, mouse. Let me see, here we go. Yeah, it wasn't the toucan. The toucan was, where did he go? Where did he go? I had it here. I'm drawing it because I liked it. Oh, there he is. There's the toucan. All right, cool. All right, let's copy this one. Copy image address. All right, paste. Is that it? There it is. Let's zoom in. All right. Ooh, we got a lot of stuff going here. Oh, this one definitely the head right in here. You can see that head and the way that zooms out. There we go. There's that toucan. I'm going to put this in the chat. So if you want to get ahead while I'm talking and draw it on your own, I copied it already. I'm going to put it in the chat. The parrot is nice too. Yeah. Well, I kind of started it. You know, you just got to just do it. Just do it. I'm breaking it down for you until you learn how to break it down yourself. See the big shapes. If I were to see, let's see how big of a shape we can get in here. Right in there. Look at that big circle. That shape. And then we break it down. Alrighty. Let's see. Selection. You can see that circle. And that's good to see. Oh, look at that. Look at how it fits right in there. Look at that. How that circle fits in there. If we were to draw a circle and then just break that down, you can see that different parts. All right, and then we've got another circle in here. Definitely the circle that I see. Bam, is the head right in there, but it does curve out. It does attach. There we go. So it's here, but it's more of an oval. And definitely see this angle here. This angle here, slight angle. There's that. And then it changes angles again right there. And then this angle here. And this angle here. Oops. Let's move it over. Right there, there it is, that angle. I kind of go over so you can kind of see those angles. And then, definitely these angles. It tapers out. There's a little bit of a curve to it, but the flow of the line is here. And it does curve in, and then this bottom part. Don't let those details kind of like confuse you. It's really if you hit that and then just kind of like, okay, scribble those in. There you go. That's it. And then here's the beak and how it curves in there. And this is almost straight, but it goes like this, that angle there. Look at this angle here too. That angle. And this angle. There's another angle. Ooh, and the circle shape in there. Ooh, that's a nice circle. And that'll be it. And then we'll jump on it. And I'll jump on this one. I don't know if I put this one in the chat. Did I? No, I don't think so. Again, there's that circle. Look at that one right there. Bam, right in there. Wish I could screenshot that. And actually, I can, but I'd have to put it in another program. There it is. That circle there. There it goes. There's a toucan. Oh, and these angles, the angles of the branch. That's another thing here, this angle here. You can see that pretty much in that direction, but it's got, you know, all this little, it's not a perfect ruler. Branch straight. There it is. All right. Got it. Get it. Got it. Let's do it. Let's do this toucan. A lot of detail on here. This is going to be a little more intermediate, advanced. I'll try to go slow on it, and we'll see. Let me put it in the chat. You can screenshot it. You can take a picture. That helps. Take a picture. It lasts longer. What are you looking at? Gosh, I taught too many years at the high school. Actually, they never started. They kind of stopped a few years ago, but they would say that. Take a picture. It lasts longer. All right, here we go. Lou's throwing something in there. JPEG of some kind. Let me see. I don't know. I'll click to download. What is that? Save. I don't know. Will it open? I don't know. I put mine in there, but Lou put some kind of JPEG. I don't know what it is. All right. I don't know. Did it download? Click to open. Oh, you took a picture. Oh, you screenshotted it. Nice. That's what I call teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. Oh, very nice. Thank you. Awesome. All right. So I put the link, and then Lou Yeah, it is a screenshot. Thank you very much. If I do a screenshot, I have two screens, so it would get both my screens. All right, let's do this. Oh, awesome. Hallelujah. Awesome. This is about, man, teamwork makes the dream work. Oh, stop sharing. Didn't I stop sharing already? Yeah. All right. Let's jump on. Let's knock everything down. All right, here we go. So let's start off with the big circle first. It kind of, you know, it really lays everything down. It really does lay everything down. And we've already broke this down. We analyzed it. And you want to do this. The more you do it, the faster you get at it. So it's like, see this big old circle here. I got this big old circle. There's my big old circle. Sketch it in. Nice little sketch. And then resting on that is that branch at this angle. Let me see, how's it looking on my paper? All right. Yay. Awesome. Teamwork makes the dream work. Big dreams take big teams. That's what I actually would like to do. Trying to build a big team. And why are you drawing? If you're drawing because you want to do animations, if you want to do, I know we had somebody here for a while that was wanting to do and learn to draw, to do stories. See, this is where the mind group would really help, because then you can do your stories, you share your stories, and we can give you feedback, and you can work on your stories, work on bigger things. All right, so we've got our circle here, and then right here on, there's a little bit of an overlap. Right here at, here's 6 o'clock, here's 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock rock. In here, at that angle, is that branch, right? About that thickness compared to the big circle. Probably maybe a little bit thinner. We can always fix it later. But we're just blocking it in, we're just throwing it in. This is what we see first. Then we've got the beak. I'll let you catch up here. Because like right in here, look at this big part is where the body's going to be, that big area right in there. It goes past the center. And then right here is that beak is going to be kind of like coming up at a slight angle. Right there, like let's say, see. And that's like, I don't know if I were to break this in half this way. See, that's about a fourth up there. We're looking at fractions, breaking it down into shapes, breaking it down to smaller shapes. And then you just practice doing this, and then you actually get better. You get better. You can see these big shapes, right? You can see how it's kind of constructed, how it's put together. And we can see here's the head. The head's going to be right in here. Oh, look at that, how it fits in there. Like the head's going to be probably right about there. If we actually put an axis line, there is a slight angle. So my axis line here is going to be, I'm going to put a slight angle to it. Just a slight angle. You see a slight angle, straight up and down. There we go. And those go perpendicular. All this math stuff. See, this is what I would have loved to have learned math this way. Oh, perpendicular and geometry. 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 And what did the acorn say? The acorn said after it was planted, it said geometry. All right, anyways. So here's the head, here's the beak. The beak is going to be in there. The body's going to be in here, right? And then the tail is going to be coming out right on here on this side, back down in here, right in there. See, right in here is where the tail is going to be. And we kind of already have it kind of blocked out. So let's start off with his head right here. Right up in here, we're going to start off with the beak. The beak, it goes really close. It actually sticks out a little bit, but if you get it right on this circle, that's it. Then it pulls in a little bit right at the tip, pulls in to a point, right? So this is the top of that beak, right on that circle, pulls in to a point right there at that fourth. This is half, this is a fourth, and then it goes in and kind of aims in for that right there. Now the width, the height and the width, this is where I've seen people do the beak too thin, too thick. That's just ratios. If you get that, then you just got to practice your ratios. How thick this thing is, how wide to how long, right? And I can see how it attaches itself to that circle there. And here's my my beak. I think I went to I know what I did. This is the inside of the beak. And this is going to be the outside. We're going to go with the outside here. Yeah, see, I made it thicker here. So that's the inside, and then this is the outside. And you can do that too. So like, hey, wait a minute, that's too thin. Oh no, yeah, that's right. This is the outside. Because here, that, remember that line? My little sketch. It's a little sketchy. And then there's an angle right in here. See that slight angle? I do see that angle. Thank you, Lou. It really helps. Man, you got to come to every class now. There you go. All right, and there's a lot of details in here. A lot of detail as far as the design. And there's a little like an oval shape in here. And then there's all these other shapes. There's another oval shape right in here. I'm just sketching it in right now. But I've got my beak, and that's the darkest part. I like that. It's looking good. Let's finish that beak here. I think it just closes off right in here. It does curve out and closes, and then this one curves out too. But at that kind of like, there's a slight angle to it. There it is. That's the beak. So there's the beak. Then it bounces up a little bit and around for the head. And then it comes down at that angle here, at this angle. So you can see it kind of bounce around there and then comes down at that angle halfway. Right there, that's about a little bit past halfway, I think. And then it comes out at this angle. And then it curves back in at this angle here. And it's just a rounded corner, it's around that corner. But what's important are the angles, that direction of that line, the direction of this line. Notice that direction, 1, 2, and then 3. There we go. Actually back almost on that, on our original circle here. There's that. Let's get that eyeball in there. Let's shoot for that eye. It's really rounded. And this is, I want to zoom in because there's a lot of detail in here. Let's zoom in on that eye. There it is. So the eye is going to go in here. Hopefully not going too fast. If I'm going to repeat anything, let me see the chat. Everybody good? Everybody's good. All right, cool. Nobody's, it was your screenshot. Yay. All right, awesome. That helps. You see, helps. I'm only one man band here. And that's the thing. I want to help people that help others. That's really my mission. If you help others, I want to help you. That's it. And then and the question is, do what? Because then that's where the mastermind work comes in. Because then, all right, well, how are we going to help people? How can we help more people? And that's where my standards 1, 2, 3 and my other stuff that I'm working on comes in. This eye is too big. It's too big. I got to make it smaller. So we got to erase that. I think I'm going to make it a little smaller. So it's not that big. I'm looking at the ratios and the proportions, and it needs to go a little smaller, slightly smaller, just slightly. Just a little bit, but I'm the perfectionist. So there it is. That's a good one. Right in there. Let's zoom in some more because let's go. It's kind of like in the center of that space. Let's zoom in a little more. So you can see what's happening. So this is complex. Inside that circle is our pupil, straight inside. So I can start off with a point inside and then kind of like build up and out around on it. There we go. And then the top half is highlight and everything else is kind of shaded. So we're going to go around here, just this top half, leave it alone. And then the bottom half, just shade it slightly. Don't push as hard on your pencil. As pencil control for shading. And just kind of shade it in. When shading is an intermediate kind of skill. Don't worry about shading. What's important is learning how to draw first, and then the shading comes afterwards. The shading is kind of like the icing on the cake. And then color, that's even more icing on the cake, right? Don't worry about color. You want to see things in black and white. You want to see things like in shapes. And then from there, oh, let's go back to the eye because there's some detail in here. So there's that part of the eye. And then there's kind of like another, and I would say light sketch, really light kind of around that. But this is kind of like just on the feathers. And it's kind of almost not necessarily bags, but kind of like there's 1, 2, 3, kind of like almost circles as they go around here. There we go. Bam. And that's kind of shaded. All right, let's get the dark area. The dark area kind of goes around that. Around around the outside. And then kind of down at that angle. And I'm looking at this shape on this side, and it kind of goes parallel, really close to being parallel to that as it comes down. And let's zoom out as we continue. Bam. See, it's kind of going parallel at that angle. See, it's not perpendicular, it's a slight, it's not vertical, what I meant. There's a slight angle to it. And this has my slight angle when we first did that one. Zoom out a little more as this comes down. And then, oh, I didn't draw that circle. There's a circle in that chest. Zoom out a little more. Right in here, right in where the chest is kind of like a circle shape. That circle shape in that chest right there. There we go. Sketch it in. So I can see it. And then I can see, all right, this is right in here, right where that beak, inside that beak, bring that beak. I know it's my line's going to start in here. Should wrap around this circle and then come back up, right? So let me see, and it should go wider. It actually tapers out angle-wise. So I need to go from here, bring it out a little bit more, maybe make that circle a little bit bigger. I can see how that's going to go wrap around that and then come back up. This is all kind of the sketch of it. This is the framework of a house that you don't see. It's there. It helps keep the house up. It's the structure. See how I'm going around it? And then back up. Oops, that's all right. Back up. There it is. Man. There. Ooh. Little did you know. Doing good, doing good. All right, so there's a wing in here. And there's a wing and a prayer. I know, I just feel like I'm kind of weird. This is why I call it a mind stream, because it's kind of just like just talking on the top of my head. There's this angle here, that angle, a little bit of a curve, and then there's another angle comes down here. See that other angle, that angle there to that. And I can see in relation to that big circle, right in here, right in there, bolt, how it all fits. I love drawing because it's like a puzzle. Each puzzle is a little different, but it's all shapes. They all fit in different ways. We're learning how to see the shapes, learning how to see how it all fits. I'm adding some of the feathers here. Just feather lines. There's 3. 1, 2, 3. Bam, bam, bam. And then all this is going to be shaded. All this is going to be shaded. And I'm shading really quick. Good way to shade is to hold your pencil like this and at an angle. And you can shade like that and really work down your pencil, and maybe even if you had a blade to sharpen your pencil. There you go. Just real quick there. All this is going to be shaded. All this outside part. I'm going to go in there and shade it real quick. Just, while you're catching up, you can always shade this afterwards. This will give you some time to catch up, or you need to, if I'm going too fast. Too fast, too fast. You can follow your nose. It always knows the flavor of fruit. Oh my gosh. All right, and they're really colorful birds. This is really nice orange and reds that are going on in the beak. If you had watercolors, this is really, really nice. So you see, I kind of drew this oval shape in there. More oval shape, please. So kind of, yeah, I grew up on TV. That's how I learned my English. I don't know. There's a comedian, Yakov Smirnov. He would talk about learning English. So he goes, I watched TV. Unfortunately, it was a Spanish station. I don't know. America, anyway. Back when they had the big signs that said America loves Smirnoff, and that was his name, Smirnoff. I said, what a country. What a country. There you go. There's this shape right here too. Bam, that goes in there. It fits in there. And then it's got a lot, I mean, this beak doesn't go straight. It actually kind of, there's jaggeds, there's little jaggies. It kind of goes jagged. And then it has like little textures in here. I'm not worried about that, especially for beginners. You can see them if you want to try to get them for accuracy. You can get them in there. I think there's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is, kind of like that. It's all this little detail stuff. Detail goes last, but I'm already putting them in there. All right, cool. Well, I'm going from the top to the bottom. we go. There's the toucan. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see what's going on here. Yeah, see as far as shading and stuff, I'm getting all fancy because it actually goes a little bit darker in here. And you can actually see where shading. But all this is just, more intermediate stuff. I wouldn't worry about it too much when you're first learning. All right, let's get these feet in here. All right, because there's overlapping. The feet go in front of our branch here. So let's start off with this. There's going to be a couple feet in here. There's two of them, and they kind of go together to make this one shape that kind of goes in here like this. See, I'm kind of putting both feet together to make one shape, and then I can go back in there and break that apart. But I want to see it together as one shape first. That really helps. Same thing over here. I can kind of see a circle shape, and then the feet kind of coming off on here like this, and it's like wrapping its around that branch down here, right there, and then this leg kind of coming there, and then it's got like a toe that goes behind that branch. There it is. See, I'm just constructing it, putting it all sketched really lightly. Then once I'm happy with it, and then I'm confident, and then you draw darker. All right, so yeah, there's like little feathers in here. I'm just going to do them really quick. See, that comes with practice. All right, here we go. Let's do this bottom leg or foot, talon. He's this toucan is talented. Okay, Google, tell me a toucan joke. No. Okay, Google, stop. Here's a Spotify station here.
What did it say? I couldn't hear it.
No, it was a Spotify station. Okay, Google, volume 8. Okay, Google, tell me a toucan joke.
Here's a Spotify station featuring toucan.
Okay, Google, stop. All right, whatever. I don't know. No toucan jokes tonight.
Oh,
Okay, Google, tell me a bird joke.
Sorry, I don't understand.
No. Okay, Google, tell me an animal joke. Jeez.
How do bovines do math?
How do bovines do
With
math?
a calculator.
With a calculator. Okay, silly.
Eladia, you're doing just fine.
Thanks. I'll be here all night.
Cracking up here.
I'll be here all week. All right, so I've got my leg here. We're drawing more than just lines now. We're drawing shapes. See this rectangle here, that rectangle shape, and then we're drawing the way it attaches itself to the foot.
yeah, we don't need Google. You're the stand-up comedian.
Thanks. Appreciate it. I'm gonna ham it up. All right, here we go. All right, so we got that shape. There's a lot of little wiggles. I'm not going to, just got to kind of see the shapes. There's a good practice called blind contour drawing. And that was the other one I was going to mention is the Zentangles. I think Alan put something on Zentangles on our website. But Zentangles is good to do. It's a good practice for shapes and filling stuff in. Like even this whole toucan can be shaded in with Zentangles, like little shapes and playing with that. And Zentangles are really good for beginners and good to practice. Like I'm actually just putting little swirls on my toucan here. You can see the little swirls there, and that's a good thing to. I think I'm inspired by Yelena, who did that on one of our. Oh, the time we drew a turkey. Actually, we did draw a turkey a couple of weeks ago, and she did this with her turkey. We drew more of a cartoon turkey tonight. And this toucan is a little more real. It's a little more realistic. All right, let's get these paws in here. These talons. Now the talons, they're drawn pretty realistically, but the shading the shading that's on there, I don't like it. It's kind of like flat. It really should be more rounded. Let's see. And then here, this tip is rounded as well. There's kind of like a circle in here. See? And I'm just already kind of assuming that it's in there and I'm wrapping around it without doing it. It does come to a point in here. See, there's a little bit of a point. Let me zoom in so you can see that detail. El detalle. There's a little bit of a hook right there. There you go. A little foot. little hook. There's another one on this other one. Like it's, there we go. Little talented. All right. So you want to, don't encourage me. Sometimes I get too silly or corny. Yeah, corny jokes, silly rabbit. Kicks her for trids. Yeah, so this should be, the way it has it is a little straight. I would curve it a little bit more, like it's wrapping around that form, wrapping around. Here's some of this form. Even in here, the ones that he has drawn, I would wrap it. And because we're looking down on it, it would wrap around this way, like that, probably a little more in that direction. Would be a little more realistic and understanding form, right? Getting something to really be three-dimensional space. That's more intermediate. So here we go. That's a little intermediate tip. Because once you draw shapes, then the next level is form. Somebody said they like seeing progress, and progress is good, right? So you want to start off with shapes and then get into drawing forms. That's what's next, drawing forms. All right, let's zoom out, finish this tail. The tail of two cities right here. Here we go. Oh my gosh, see what you get. You're encouraging me, I'm encourageable. All right, so this one, I put a little bit of a bend to it. See, I kind of pushed it, pulled it out, a little bit of a bend in that space. And then here, this comes out in a little bit of an angle, comes underneath, right, overlapping. But this is what's really important. Make sure it kind of continues underneath. See, sometimes some people don't do that. So make sure it's continuing. Erase it now. There it is. And then it's in that space right there. And then this right here, see, right underneath, coming out right there. And then there's little curves, right? So I can see one big curve right in there, and then a little one in there. And then I can just like, right, kind of like on this line, see? Right in there, in that direction. But just add that little M, little McDonald's arches or whatever. I don't like McDonald's, but insert your favorite M there. Actually, both my son and my daughter, my son's name is Michael. My daughter's name is Martha. My mom's name is Martha. And so my last name is Chavez, so that's MC, and that's MC squared. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that was a long way to. That was a lot of work to get that MC squared. I'm a big Einstein fan. He's got a lot of great quotes. Yeah, imagination. One of my favorites is his imagination quote. You know, knowledge can only take you so far. Imagination can take you everywhere. That was one of his quotes, and he says, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." Yep. All right, so there's a rounded tip here on this side, and then we break this in half. Probably the side's a little bit bigger. See, now we can actually start breaking it into parts. There it is. There's that part, and then there's this one's like kind of behind it. It's kind of behind that top one, and it goes kind of like a little bit of overlapping or underlapping, I would say, and then a little bit of the tail end or the hook there, and then on this one. I probably brought it out too much. Let's bring it back. I'm going to bring it back a little bit. Bring it back. Bring that forward. Yeah, there it is. And there's that. And again, he's doing the same thing. He's making it too flat. So I'm going to round this out just a little bit. Round it out, round the outside. All right, there it is. Now I can actually shade, if I really wanted to shade all this stuff a little bit darker, I can shade all of this a little bit darker. All this is dark in here. The toucan is all dark. Notice how this foot pops, because you're creating contrast. That's where shading starts coming in, where you start creating a contrast. So this contrast, you have dark against light, and boom, look at that pop. This little leg pops out now. Shade all this really quickly. And if I wanted to leave a highlight in there, like a little bit of an edge, do that. But that's all value. That's I wouldn't worry about that, but you can study value afterwards. All right. I think we're getting close to done. Finish this tail. Finish this tail. Shading. Almost there. Anything in the chat? No, nothing in the chat. Or maybe. Oh, there we go. What did the tropical bird say to the monkey who stole his fruit? Two can play at that game. Two can play at that game. Huh? There you go. Funny one. I like that one. It takes two to tango. Two can. Dun, dun, dun. Thank you. I'm not. All right, I think that's it. I think we can just add a little bit of shading to that branch, and to make it, give it a little more, since our bird looks so real, give it a little bit of shading to make it, and definitely would, the toucan would be darker. I kind of didn't shade it that dark. Actually, you can play with it. Actually, in this drawing doesn't go that dark. All right, so I know there's a little bit of a bump right in here. Look at, see, there's a little bit of a bump on that branch right in here. Looking, and I can see that it kind of bumps out right in here, and then it kind of goes in, right? So then now I can see that bump and how big it is compared to the line, right? The ratio, the proportion, and then I can just go in there and it doesn't matter. Go around it. Bump. See how that bump is in there. Then over here on this side, a little bit of a bump, bring it in, but it's still kind of going in that same direction, that same branch. All right, there it is. And then there's shading. Really, it's not, it's really flat shading. This is really flat. I mean, this toucan is a lot more realistic. I would probably shade one side a little bit darker, and usually the bottom. So I'm going to go just a little bit of a shade in here. Shading, saying that the light is coming from the top. And then there would be a shadow in here from this, these talons right underneath, a little bit of a shadow. I'm just getting, you don't have to do this. If you get it, great. If you don't, it's okay. This is the icing. We're just putting a little bit of icing here, a little icing on the cake. That sweetness, that little sweet stuff. Some people get all caught up with this detail and stuff like that, but really, what's more important is the structure and all that other stuff. And then there's like little, I'm going to sketch them in like texture on that wood, kind of going in that direction. There we go. Let's see how I just put really quickly. That's just experience. There it is. Wow. Look at that. Toucan. Oh, man. I can't wait to see these. All right, 7:56. We're done with our first hour here. Now let's see. It's time to share. Don't get despaired. Don't despair. You can share, and then we'll get into a little more. I think I found the original color image of this toucan. It's on a cover book, maybe. Could be. Let me see. Ooh, yeah. Oh, you know what? You're right. Because of the feet, the way the feet are, that could have been the original. Look at the colors on it. They did change things a little bit, simplify it. Yeah, they did change things. That changed the angle of the head. But the feet definitely kind of, they probably used that. I know I did that once too. Like somebody had done some drawings. I'm like, and I was doing the research on it. Let me share my screen. Yeah. So, hey, what was that? Was that Ellen? Yeah, she found the toucans, elementary.
Oh, no, that wasn't me.
Oh, no. Oh, I can't see my chat anymore. It was, how do we share?
Leanna.
Oh, raise your hand. Oh, yeah, it was Leanna. Okay, how do you share? Just raise your hand and I will spotlight you. We already have some hands. If you don't know how to raise your hand, you can just if you'd like to share. You don't have to share. Sharing is just we do our recording just to remind you. So let me see. Okay, Lou, you're first. So let's see what you got. Let's see how it went for you. There we go. Hold on. Let me spotlight you. There you are. Ah, look at that. Sweet. Very nice. Really loose sketch. Really nice. Very good, very good. Sweet. Awesome, awesome. All right, thank you for sharing. First timer. Another first timer. Lou, let's see what you got. Lou. Oh, was that Lou? Okay. Thought it was somebody else. No, there you go. Let me see. Hold on. All right, there you go. Ah, there's your little chick, your little turkey. Nice. Yeah, it looks really good. We didn't use the squares at all, but that, yeah, awesome. All right, Esther, you're next. Let's see, Esther, what you got? All right, Lou, thank you for sharing. First timer. And a helpful one at that. That's awesome. Esther, no. All right. Oh, there you go. All right, cool. Let's see what you got. There you are. Oh, you went out. You disappeared. Oh, there you go. Hold on. There it is. Oh, there's your toucan. Nice. I like the way you filled the page. All right, super cool. Nice. Thank you for sharing. Good. Sweet. All right, super cool. All right, let's go with Haiti. Regular. All right, here we go. Let's see. I haven't seen you in a bit. Ah, there you go. There's your toucan. All right. Nice. All right. Do you have that? Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing. And then we've got Callie. Let's see, Callie. There you are. They got them both on one page. Nice. Super cool. All right. Thank you for sharing. Awesome. Pri in the house. Priyanka. Let's see what you got. Thank you, Callie, for sharing. Pri, good to see you. Let's see. There you go. What you got? Look at that. You went really dark on it. That's nice.
Yeah, I used the Sharpie for the outline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Super cool. All right. Awesome. And did you have the other one?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, there he is. Super cool. Yeah, right. Awesome. Oh, you putting a necklace on him.
Yeah. Necklace and a bow.
Oh, there's the bow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. You're dressing your turkey.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Super cool. All right. I don't think I see any other hands. Oh, no. Yeah, no, that's it. All right. Thank you for sharing, people. And, and it's just what's important at this stage of the game is just the quantity. Really get that quantity out, get that pencil work out, and then the quality comes over time. As you start to look at how things, really see how things are put together. See one shape and then see the shapes together. For example, let me see, just point this out again. Here's the head, and then the beak, the way it kind of tapers off of that, the way it tapers and how these shapes kind of go together, right? I mean, look at that. And then it eventually, I mean, you get to drawing at this level where it just kind of like, it looks like magic, but really, you kind of have to see each shape by itself and then see it as one piece. Parts and whole, right. All right, these are great. I want to put paint on it, like the colors in that book cover. Awesome. Great. Yeah. So yeah, that would be something, put the little icing on the cake, like on the book cover. Use a little bit of watercolors is what I would recommend. Nice work all, Priyanka says. Awesome. All right, let's go to, we're going to step it up and go on to the next level. Let's see, what is that next level? Let's see. Oh, we got our birds in. This bird. I actually did want to do this bird. Oh, this is interesting, actually. This is interesting. So if you're a beginner, you can still stick around for this one. Beginner, this is like intermediate. Actually, the beginner, this is good. I'm going to talk a little bit about that one. Actually use it like a clay. This one definitely is going to be a little bit tougher. But let me put this one in the chat. Copy image address. There it is. Put it up here. Paste. There we go. Oh, there it is. Oh, look at that. There it is. Wow. I'm going to put it in the chat. Chit chat. How many people? We got 18. We lost one. That's good. All right. Hardcore heroes now. I'm going to christen me. Lou, thank you. Great work, everyone. See, awesome. This is what I want to see. Lou, you're welcome too. This is the price of admission. Honestly, supporting each other and holding each other, a little bit of accountability. Accountability comes over time. I mean, as you post work and you see the accountability, accountability is a good piece, but definitely that consistency. All right, so there's the bird. Let's break this one down. and see the shapes and the lines, right? So let's look at the shapes first. This shape is complex. The shape is actually pretty complex. If I see the circle, the circle is probably on the head. And then in here, it's I would say more of an oval, but it's a complex shape. So let's make it complex by drawing the lines. I would see this line here, this angle there. Look at that angle. Oh, and it's a little complex. I mean, there's other shapes and stuff happening here. But if I can see this shape, this angle here, see it's almost parallel at that for that neck, right? And then this shape here, and almost straight up that way. And then it curves out and down. Here we go, see that angle there. And then this angle here, and it tapers out, right? But it tapers out. And then this angle here, right? And there's this angle. And here's a triangle. Let's see this big shape, this big triangle shape. Now, I not only see this triangle shape, but I see this triangle shape, how it fits in here, right? It's not just like a little triangle. This is where, you know, your proportions, if you're not watching, you can get that little triangle, and then you got this big old, this big long leg with a little foot in there. So you got to see how big that triangle is compared to, in relation to everything else, how it all fits together. Right, so that's another skill. If you don't get it right now, that's fine. You're just looking at angles. We're looking at ratios. You focus on angles till you get angles, and then you do proportions, and then you practice, and it all comes together. It really all comes together. It's like a multiple skills. You got your ratios, a wrap. So I call it wrap to draw. We're looking at ratios, we're looking at angles, and then proportions. But your brain can only really focus on one thing at a time, until you see angles and shapes, right? Angles or proportions. Then you see these angles, like I can say this is all one angle here, this leg here, right? Then there's like a circle in here, and it comes back out, and then it tapers back out. And then the beak coming out, almost parallel, I would say. This is almost parallel. The way it's open, it's parallel. Whatever's inside his beak, it's trying to capture there. And then inside is that triangle, actually, that kind of opens up. Right. Wow. I made it look abstract. Here, this looks like a bird's fin. A bird's fin, or one of those, reminds me of a, all right, we can do 2 screenshots. Lou, if you want to screenshot that one, and then I can do it without the, put it in there, screenshot that one. Let me clear all drawings. So I don't know if you have that screenshot. I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me clear all drawings. And if you want to do screenshot that one now, and you can put both of them in, one with the lines and one without the lines. That'd be awesome. Price of admission. Yeah, there it is. There's one. And then the second one. Thank you, Lou. All right, cool. So let's do this. I gotta save it and then download it and then open it up. There it is. All right, cool. Stop sharing. All right, so let's draw this. Now, what's cool about this is it's let's see. We can do this as a piece of clay. What's really cool is watch this technique. When you're doing silhouettes, you can look for silhouettes. There's a lot of silhouettes out there. You know, just do a Google search, silhouette people, silhouette, whatever you want. Silhouette animals. And what's cool, like horses. Ooh, I've done this with horses, silhouette horses. There's my hand. All right, cool. I see the shape. Actually, let's get that angle in here. That angle was kind of like this angle here. Because once you see an angle, no matter how big or small you draw, it's going to be the same angle. I can draw this bird like this small here, and that angle, the bottom of it's still going to be the same. If I draw it bigger, the bird bigger, that bottom angle is still going to be the same, this angle. So let's see what it looks like horizontally. It's not 45-degree angle. It's that angle there. So ratios, angles, proportions, practice, wrap to draw. The fastest way to learn how to draw, actually, once we have all this together, it is actually from all the drawing stuff that I know and the books that I have and the books that I've seen, this method is the quickest way to learn how to draw. It does take time, I mean, I have a book that says 30 days, but it's not that, they don't really give you the process. They tell you to draw this, draw that, and they show you how to draw it, but they don't really give you a process. All right, so here's my process. So I can see this angle here. I'm going to go with the body. The body has this, this angle here, that angle there. See that angle there? It's almost vertical. It's a little bit to the side. So these two angles are important. You got that angle, and then this one's almost vertical, just slightly tilted. And then from here, let me see how long it is. Let me see. There we go. There's the neck. And then this back part is a little bit bigger than this neck, right? So then here, that's the neck. Then the circle for the head is going to be right in here. And then it's going to attach itself to that circle at that angle. This neck is parallel to that angle, like that. And this thickness here, I'm comparing that to here, but it goes up a little bit higher. And there goes up a little bit higher. And I can then just swoop around. And it actually comes down to a little bit of a point. It kind of comes and then it tapers out. Right in there like that. It's not quite a square. If I were to see the square in here, it's a little bit longer. See, this is why you're looking at ratios and this complex shape here. Really complex shape. Now that complex shape. 813. Getting some text here. All right. All right. All right. Okay. You got a lot of stuff happening, but that's kind of like the basic shapes, right? We got this curving at the top. It's almost a square in here. If I bring it over, it's probably, yeah, this 2 squares. It's probably twice right in there. It's probably a little bit plus. See, I'm looking at the ratios. This comes down here, it comes out there. It looks really abstract right now. All right, so let's add right in here is one of the legs kind of coming out, just like the turkey actually. Kind of has that shape right in there. It's reminding me of a one of the Star Wars creatures. All right, so here's another rounded shape right in here. And that rounded shape. Okay, so this one's more like that, and this one's a little straighter. And then it goes onto that neck right in there. Fits like right in there. I think that's good. Now, this is why, well, this is kind of big. If I were to do this with a marker, if I want to, add, if I don't like it, I can actually make it bigger. If I would have started smaller, then I can make it bigger, right? If I didn't like that, then I just keep going bigger until I get the shape that I like. And that's what's good about, because you don't worry about the inside. You can always add like a piece to it. Like if you were doing it with out of clay, right? You just keep adding another little piece to it, right? Till you get the shape that you want, right? So like here's that shape. And I can add a little piece to the shape when you're shading it. Oh, kind of like that. And then getting that shape to kind of come out. I'm doing this body part now here. All right. Now here, it doesn't just come to a tapered point right in there. There is another little, actually, why don't we make it one tapered point? But then there's like another little wing coming up above it, like a little bit of another little wing. Oh, I just messed that one up. Another little wing above it, another one below it, and then one in the middle. There we go. There we go. I'm going to bring this one out just a little bit. Wow. Killing it. Killing it, Larry. There we go. Yeah, just killed it. That's okay. That's just detail. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff. There you go. Yeah, sometimes perfectionists can kill your productivity. Don't let perfectionism kill your productivity. All right, so here we're going to add the head. That's the body. That's the body. I'm happy with it. We'll do the legs right now. Let's do the head. There's a little bit of a slight little bump right in there. It's a little bump, but it kind of just can hide it. A little bump, and then it really curves around that. And then goes back. There's a little bit of a bump here too. Slight little bump, like almost like an Adam's apple or something. Yeah, there's like little ups and downs in there. Let me just shade all this in because it's all shaded. There we go. Get all that shaded. Pretty happy with that. Looks like a turtle or something. And see that's where criticism can kill creativity, even your own criticism. Don't be so hard on yourself. Try to draw what you see, not what you think you see. Turn it upside down as well. That actually helps to see just the shapes. I'm turning it upside down. Why don't you do that yourself? See if you're getting your angle right. See if you're getting the shapes right. Try to see shapes. Don't say that's the body. Don't say this. Really, that's a good way actually to draw. Look at something and draw it upside down. And that really forces you to see shapes. It's a really good exercise to do that you'd have to do on your own. All right, there we go.
For me, I look at negative space a lot.
Yes, that helps a lot. Yeah, this one has some negative space between the legs. All right, that's great. All right, so I'm going to pencil this in with the beak is going to kind of come in here, and there's a slight angle to it. And yes, negative space. Actually, you'll see right now the negative space between these here, where the legs are. So it is at a slight angle, and then here it kind of comes in and then goes out. And I'm seeing how big it is. I'm seeing how big this shape is, and right in here, this is the shape. Speaking of negative shape, the space in here, that's where one foot's going to be, and this other foot is going to come out like at this angle here. And I'm almost see this big shape here. See this big shape. The height and the width is almost square. It's almost square. I think it's a little bit lower, so it's a little bit wider than square. So it's slightly wider than square. If we're looking at this, the square would probably be like in here. And then it goes a little bit wider than square. That's for that. And then we can see the negative space, that space in here. And this leg right in here, and the space between the legs, probably that much. So yeah, we can probably move this one over a little bit. See, and I'm just sketching it in, and I can actually make it wider, the thickness of the leg. But I can just start off with that one thickness. And this is what I'm talking about, clay. See, I got here, and then I can add that little ball that goes right in the middle. And then I can, go and build on top of it. See, I can make it wider, thicker if I need to make it thicker. Then here, this goes this leg here. And then it comes out at an angle. Right in here, here's that. It does thicken up in there. There's a little bit of a knee or whatever that is in there, a joint. And it comes out. Then I can see how big that triangle is back in here. Right, the triangles are about that big. This one's a little smaller, but it's over here. I'm kind of happy with that. There's little feather details. I'm not worried about those. I am worried about this little taper. Make sure that head and the beak kind of tapers on right. And this one tapers on as well. And down here, it's almost parallel. Down here, it's almost parallel with right about past halfway, a little past halfway, the triangle in the middle that is open. Oh, and I just killed it. I'm going to try to, with my marker, not kill it. So it does go up a little bit higher. Let me see, now that I'm aware of it. Go in there and clean it up. And go up a little bit higher. There we go. And then try to keep that triangle there in the middle. That's it. And then here we go, and do the other side. There we go. Straight up. and attach. And there's a little bit of a curve there as it attaches the head curve, and then it attaches to that beak like that. There we go. And then I'm just going to shade all that in, The shape of the head, that might be a little bit of a challenge for some of you, trying to see that that combination of that head and the beak at the same time. And again, practice. You'll get that complex shape, compound shape. Let me just shade all this in. Hey, big bird. There we go. Who said that? There we go. That's it right there. Beak. This one's a little bit smaller, which is good. This one's a little bit thicker. Here it is. You see that at the base, there's a little bit of a circle there. See, like a little bit of a circle, and then it goes thin again. See, it's these little things. And then here it goes wider again, right in there. It's that angle, but then in here it goes a little bit wider. And then even this side, pushing it that way. And notice how the feet line up with that beak. The feet should line up with that beak. And it's got 3 toes. The first one is kind of like the big toe to the left. And then you got a smaller one next to that, the one in the middle, and then one even smaller in the back, kind of like right in there like that. And silhouettes are fun. You don't have to worry about, you really see the shape. It really helps you actually see the big shapes and not worry about the details. So it's a good practice for those of you who need something to practice, daily practice drawing silhouettes for a while. Draw silhouettes till you get silly. All right, there's little feathers. You can actually just like really easily just get that detail in there if you want, just like kind of like almost like you're kind of like see little feathers on these little edges, that texture. That's another element of art. The 7 elements of art, ones you don't really have to worry about, because that's the icing on the cake. Little icing. All right, there's that little triangular part, and this leg comes out straight like that. And it's actually all, this triangle part down here is all dark. There's no little feetsies, but right in the middle is that little oval, or I'm going to put a circle. Look at that. I'm going to put a circle and then just attach that circle to the leg as it tapers out to it and then tapers back in right in there like that. And depends on how big you make that circle. You don't want to make it too big. It's all relative. It's all in proportions. If you make it too big, then it's going to be blowing it out of proportion. And that's okay. You can see it. Oh, and just say, oh, just look at it, recognize it. Oh, okay. Watch my proportions. Watch my proportions next time. Don't get all caught up and trying to erase. Look at it. I'm doing it in a marker. All right. There's our bird. The bird is a word. Now. Congratulations. Give yourself a hand. We haven't done that in a while. Jeez, I used to do that. I got to celebrate little mini celebrations. Yay. Yep. All right, here we go. I see a heart. Awesome. All right. We got people. We got hardcore people hanging in there. Awesome. All right, let's take it up a notch. Let's see which one we're doing next. Share my screen again. Let's jump to it. I think we are taking it up a notch. So if you're not coming back, it's okay. We'll see you next week. We'll see you Tuesday or Thursday. Next Thursday. I don't know. I might take a day off. I don't know. It's not like it's not like they're paying us. No, it's all good. We're doing it for fun. Oh yeah, the rats. The rats. I'm just gonna go ahead and draw them at this point. It's gonna be a little more intermediate. I'll try to draw it really fast without breaking it down. It's gonna take me too long to break it down. But I'll draw these rats really quick. We'll do that. Then we'll do the gift, little angles. That should be. They're not too bad. These are intermediate drawings, but I'll go pretty quick with them. Intermediate, we'll do that, and then we'll do that one. That one definitely is going to be a little more advanced. All right, good night. I see some people logging off, and this is a little more advanced. I can probably draw these a little quicker but these are more for like Thursday. Yeah, this would be more like Thursday. This is more like Thursday stuff that we're doing on Tuesday. I'm sorry. Tuesday. Yeah, this is Tuesday. We're doing portraits on Tuesday. So this would be good for Tuesday. I'd be happy to pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. So, thank you.
We should draw Wimpy.
Yeah, I should. Huh?
In
Yeah.
Spanish, he was called Pilon.
Pilón. Oh,
Pilon.
pilón. Te pagaría el martes para una hamburguesa hoy. I never heard of that. You probably say something like that. All right, let's do this. Let's do our rats. I'm not going to break it down. We're just going to do it. I'll put it in the chat. There's our little mouse. Let me copy that one. Copy image address. We're not going to break it down. We're just going to do it. Something in the chat. Dropping out now. All right. Good night, everyone. All right, Priyanka. We'll see you. Happy holidays. All right, there it is. Me to everyone. We're going to do the mouse. And then if you want to jump ahead too, feel free to jump ahead. We'll do the, the gift. That one's good. We'll do that one next. Copy image address. Let me put that one in there as well. So if we're going too slow, if we're going too fast, find your pace, find your lane. Like I used to say, like I still say sometimes, find your lane. All right, here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and draw it out. Just draw it out. So I can see the head of the big brat. Let's use this brown. Oh no, not this one. All right, maybe sharpen it. I got the sharpener here. Make a little bit of a mess. Where's my blade at? I gotta find my blade. My Beyblade. Yeah, no, just killed that one. Kill that pencil. All right. Let's just use a marker. Why not? Let's just go with the marker. Oh no, because then I can't. All right, let's just use a pen. We're going to use a ballpoint pen for this one, believe it or not. All right, so here's the head of my mouse rat. And I can see that, and I can see it compared to the body. It's about, let me see, I'll measure it. This is 1, 2, 3, 3.5. So here's the head, that's a 1. There's the body, 2, and there's 3.5. So that's the height. So compared to the head to the body, it should be about that big, right? So here's my head there, and then it actually goes out, and then it comes down right in here. See, this is this leg that's in front or closer to us. And then you have this leg that's over here on this side. It's a little further away. A little bit of a belly here. And then it comes up. So I see this top of the head, the back, and this head as it attaches itself. And what's cool, it's got all this texture, right? So I'm actually adding a little bit more to it, just like the silhouette. The mouth right in here, this mouth part, the way it cuts in here and then swoops out like that, and then comes back in. There's that mouthpiece, and yeah, this nose is pretty long, goes out to here. I would probably say about that long. There's one ear here. I'm just getting the size of it, I'm not worried about all the angles and stuff. Here's the other ear right about there. Trying to simplify it. See those two. There's the ears, there's that. Then the nose, the eye, actually the eyes, the nose. The eye kind of goes in here like that. That looks good. There's one hand here. One hand right in here. There's a lot of detail, but look, I'm just putting a circle in there. A circle in there. And then this tail is almost like a triangle right in here. See that triangle? That whole shape in there where that tail goes. You got one foot here. Another foot over here. See, I'm just putting ovals in. Just there's space holders. I'm blocking it in. I'm just blocking it in really quick. And just putting the stuff in here. the hand that kind of goes in here, like this triangular shape, the arm, and then the hand. And then he's got the cigar that kind of comes in here, right in there. I think it fits right about there. So I'm just blocking it all in. A quick sketch. This is all underneath. I actually would do this a lot faster. And then the other mouse over here is not going to fit too well. It's almost nose to nose. And then here's his head, and he's skinnier. Thinner. And kind of this whole shape right in here, how it tapers out, kind of fits in the space. Right in here, that whole shape, and he's got little thin feet. And then his tail kind of goes out. I won't fit on my page. And then there's one ear here, and then another here up here on top, right in it, right on that shape. Kind of like that. That's pretty good. See, that's I'm drawing fast now. All right, I'm going to focus. Let's do this. I'm going to do the eye. The top eye, the top brow is, he's mad. It's coming down. It's good to see the emotions. There's a little bit of a bump, and then it goes straight. So this is at this angle, but there's a little bit of a bump in here. Slight bump, pretty straight. And then there's the eyeball. Right, actually, there's a little bit of a curve on the end of this side right here. A little bit of a curve, so a slight curve up. Oh, I learned the name of that muscle there, but now I forgot it. So you got to practice it. First time you hear it, and then like the trapezium, the sternocleidomastoideus, all these muscles and stuff. So the muscles of the face actually started. You hear it, but you got to hear it almost 3 or 4 times and use it 3 or 4 times till you kind of own it. All right, there's the pupil. The bottom is pretty straight. The bottom is pretty straight. I'm going to move my paper at an angle, and then just because this is more comfortable, and then I'm just it's the cheek, and it's kind of like, see, like that. See, it almost comes automatically. And I moved my paper to get comfortable, and I just, there it is, bam. There's a slight curve, and it's straight like that. There's the cheek that's underneath, and then the eye kind of like closes off. But it's like almost like a triangle. It's thicker at the bottom, then it goes up to a point right in there for that eye. Let me zoom in so you can see the magic. See what's going on there with the eye. It's a lot of stuff going on. And then here, the top of this head, adding the top of that head, you can see this shape here, even though there's like hairs. And see, it's this shape, and then there's this texture, this hair kind of like texture, just kind of like in there like that. But you got to see the form first, and then there's a little bit of a bump on this other side. It's this little bit of a bump right there, and then there's the bump on the nose right in here. This bump here is like just the eyebrow, that little bump right there. It's like really quickly drawing an eyebrow, and then this nose right here is really thick as it comes out right in there. And then it gets pointy, and then it closes off, a little bit of a point shape in there. And then the way they shade it is really cool. They actually leave a little bit of a light white around it. It makes it shiny, makes it gives it form. And there it goes, and this nose tapers. It goes thinner at the tip, and then it gets wider as it comes back to the body. This part right here, this part really, it's almost like a tapered tail that I've talked about here before. And look at the negative space. The negative space looks like an eagle's head. Somebody was talking about negative space. It's good to see both. You got to see space, got to see shapes. There's that. He's got 2 teeth and I don't know, some kind of hair at the tip here. So right where that nose is, there's a tooth. There's 1, and then there's 2 teeth. His tooth. Two for 1. Right, and the whiskers are a little shaky. If I had a marker, it would probably be better. Well, there's 1 there, so then I can just wiggle it in. But this is too thin. It's too thin. Sometimes you got to work within that parameter, but I know a marker would be a little bit better because I have the experience of struggling and pushing this one material to do what I can. And sometimes you got to do that. There it is. And there's little dots in here, speaking of detail, little dots for the nose. There we go. Let's get the ears in. I have my ovals, but this kind of goes straight on this side. Straight, and then it curves around like here. This part of the ear. Then it kind of curves around here. And it goes down and then it attaches, say, that ear right in there like that. Look at that ear. Bam. See that? It's like a circle right in here, and it comes down, and then it comes down at that angle. I don't know. You really can appreciate these complex shapes as you can see it, how it's kind of constructed and how it's put together. Really nice. It attaches itself to the head, and then here's the head coming in like that. Notice how that overlaps. And then this other ear is just like right in behind here. It's right behind. Starts in the middle of this ear, kind of comes around. A little bit more of an oval shape than that, what I've got. Slightly more of an oval. I'm trying to push it back to an oval. There's that ear. Bam. Look at those ears. Rats. Rats. Somebody hates when I do that sound. They're like, oh. Oh, rats. All right, there's little textures on the hair. There's one here, one here. This is good texture practice, trying to get the texture. I'm just putting them in. And then good shading practice, the whole gray rat is kind of gray. Just putting it in and then getting some of that texture around in there, around the outside. Let's get zoomed out. Let's get that arm going right in here. Let me zoom out all the way so you can see how it kind of looks all together. You should be able to kind of do this on your own, kind of focus back and forth. See that, and then focus on one part, and then focus on another part, and kind of like see it as parts and whole. All right, let's get this arm. So this arm, the first part, a slight angle, almost straight, right in there to that hand. And then the back, there's an elbow in here, kind of goes out and then tapers in, like right in there. See, boom, there's that. And then on top of that, there's all that texture. But what's important is the form, that shape, right? That shape. And then if you wanted to get that texture on top, you know, this little hair, like right in there and stuff, you get that hair. All right, now the hand is complex as well. You've got the palm. This is the palm. Then you've got a finger going at two angles, one angle here. For the that part at this angle, a little hard to see. Let me zoom in. This is kind of detail stuff happening. This is surgery we're doing here. It could have been a surgeon. All right, so you got that angle here, and then the fingers taper up here. Like there's another angle here. So we're gonna do this finger first. It's kind of like a hook there. So you got the palm, you got one angle here, and then the finger changes angles there. And then there's two more just at this angle up behind it. So there's one, and then two, right in there like that. Bam. Right in that space. Natalia Forcade is coming to town. I got my tickets today. Actually, the tickets are going on sale tomorrow. I could have gotten front row tickets. I don't know. I kind of like, I wanted to get them, but they were like, I don't know, I think they were like $400. If you know who Natalia Forcade is, she's actually pretty cool. I didn't discover her till recently, actually about probably 2 years ago or a year ago. All right, so there's a little bit of a back, and then there's a little bit of a butt, like in here, pelvis. So just like these little slight things. I mean, as you understand anatomy, if not, you know, so you can just push that in there. Really little slight things.
So who is Natalia, and $400 for one ticket?
$400 for one ticket, but yeah, that's like for first row. which will probably go for like 1,000 later. Yeah. Yeah, she's really I like her music. I like her voice. Really nice. Natalia Forcade.
Oh, I think she's a singer.
Yeah, she's a singer. Yeah. You got
They
it.
did a documentary on PBS with her singing and what's his name? The director of the LA Symphony, the Spanish guy. And they did that for the Dia de los Muertos for Spanish Heritage Week.
Oh, nice.
They put it on PBS. You might be able to find.
Huh. I'll have to look. Yeah, I really like her. I'm a fan. Yeah.
Because that's how I know her. I didn't know about her before, and I saw that documentary on PBS, her singing, and it was done at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oof. I would have loved to have been there. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. All right, there's some shadow going on here on this rat back here, his back leg. All this is kind of like a shadow. I'm just kind of throwing it in there. This foot does stick out, comes out, and then it goes in. I was contacted by my elementary school. They want me to go back and touch up their mural, which is really cool. It's I did it 25 years ago. 25 years ago, and it's faded, so they want me to go back and touch it up, and they're going to pay me, so that's pretty cool. All right, so I'm doing this toe. It's a rounded in here like that. And then there's other toes behind there, but they're all kind of scribbled in. But the artist knows what he was doing. He knows the form, but they look scribbled in, but they're kind of like these little rounded shapes like that. Let me bring that leg in a little bit. And all this is shaded. Oh, this whole body's shaded. I would shade it. I don't have time to do all that shading. But get that belly in here. That little bit of a belly kind of actually comes in here. See, it does kind of come in here. That form, trying to capture that form. See that form when you're seeing that form in here. See that solid. Make your drawing solid. Get that solid shape. Let's see, it's in there like this. This whole belly. The belly of the beast. Ay, diablos. All right, so here we go. This comes in, and then you've got this ankle. Oh, speaking of negative space, there's more space between these feet. I didn't get it. That's okay. We'll live to see another day, but there should be more space between these feet. Maybe about a foot. No, I'm just kidding. A foot space. You know, I that was just too silly, and it wasn't even that funny. I can correct I can tell it's getting late. My jokes are not funny, and it's just all right. Here we go. I think that's pretty good. The next rat, I'm going to draw them really quickly. I'm going to draw them a lot faster. So see if you can stay on top, stay awake. So we're going to speed it up. Speed it up. Try to stay. If not, this video will be up tomorrow. And you can pause, you can rewind, you can. But right now, if you have questions, it's good because this is live. Where do you post these videos? Videos, if you go to absolutebeginner.net, I believe. That's where you go. But it's you can get to our, let me see, Absolute Beginner. I think there's a link to it. Yeah, absolutebeginner.org. Let me put that in the chat. Copy. I'll put that in the chat. And you can, if you subscribe, hit the thing, then you'll actually, every time I put them up, you'll get a notice if you ring the bell. There it is, absolutebeginner.org. That takes you to the YouTube channel, the YouTube channel. Subscribe there. And then you can get these videos. And then eventually I'm going to edit all these videos. So it's just really quick, clean and quick drawings. And then I can probably even draw on top or even have the picture next to it. So, and then do like a play-by-play stuff. As here you can see, like, for example, the tail. What inspired you to create a YouTube channel? Well, I'm doing all this for a purpose. I want to help people, and I want to, actually, create a book and sell the book and get people to view my videos and maybe get a stream going. But I feel the foundation is lacking out there. I can really get the absolute beginner. That's why this website, absolutebeginner.org, I really want to get that absolute beginner and say, hey, it's not that difficult. This is what you need to do, and the quickest way you can learn to draw. But like right now, this is just practice. The lessons is where it's going to be. You do each lesson or understand the lesson, and then the practice is what we do here. But really the lessons is what you need to know, and you'll forget if you don't practice it. All right, so we see big shapes first. That's the process, and then here we can start breaking it down and see this tail. Let's zoom in on the tail so you can see how that actually really works. So you see the big shapes first. There's that triangle, and then there's the tail. Actually, there's a little bit of a bump in here, right? That tail, there's a bump, and then there's that thickness, right? And it's parallel. This tail, the tail of two cities here, and then it curves around. It curves around into a circle right here, and I can see these parts, and I can see the whole that circle there, right? So what happens is, see that circle? This tail pushes out, comes in, and this curves around inside like a donut. This is the inside of that donut. Notice that, bam, and then that tail. And I'm aware of the thickness of that shape. I'm not just drawing a line, I'm drawing a shape, because this is going parallel to that top line, and I'm drawing the shape. And as it comes down, it gets thinner. And that thickness of that tail, is important to have it in relation to everything else in proportion. But that just comes with time and practice. So if your tail is too thin, that's okay. If your tail is too thick, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. I don't know. So that's what happens. We're too hard on ourselves, and then we stop. You got to be a little bit of forgiving. Yeah, forgiveness. That's a hard lesson, actually. That's a radical forgiveness. That's even if somebody does something really bad, oh man, radical forgiveness. Okay, I forgive you. Some stuff I'm trying to, well, I've gotten better. I know I've gotten better, a lot better. Radical forgiveness and radical gratitude, to being grateful and gratitude. And we just had Thanksgiving, but yeah, being thankful for stuff. And it's hard to be thankful when things are going bad. That's when it's really radical, when it's like things are going, okay, I'm grateful that my house burned down or whatever, it's hard. It's hard. I know sometimes life can get hard. I know, been there, done that. I've sulked, I've been in depression, so the thing is to, get yourself out when you can. Nobody can get you out, just you. And sometimes you have to sulk. Sometimes you have to. And then okay, I'm tired of being tired. This is it. And you make the decision, and you get out. You get out. But you got to make the decision. And then I go, okay, never again. If I'm ever here again, I can get myself out faster, because I know I spent years being down and depressed, and it really didn't help. I mean, it's good to be down. I mean, you got to feel your feelings. I know growing up, machismo, my dad was Mr. No llores, cabrón. He would say that, don't cry.
Oh, I hear you.
So, but yeah. And then, so yeah, I don't know. It's learning to understand your feelings and emotions, and like, okay, I'm feeling this. Let them guide you, but not dictate. Sometimes you gotta, okay, why am I feeling this? Understand your emotions. Yeah, it's interesting. It's been an interesting journey with my emotions and feelings and thinking. I really became a thinker. Then I got to think about my feelings, and it was an interesting approach. But yeah, some people really get led by their feelings and emotions. I mean, you can see that with a lot of the issues of today, and a lot of, I don't know, really their emotions, and not being able to handle them. I don't know, somebody just passed away. They died by suicide, I think. And that's sad. And just learning to deal with stuff. I mean, some people self-medicate, some people do other stuff. Some people just can't handle it and check out. It's like, oh man, it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem usually. Yeah, it's really sad. It's just learning to solve problems. I mean, that's it. Or learning to, okay, how do you cope? How do you deal? Same thing with drawing. Drawing really actually helped me, you know, like, okay, I can figure this out. I can break it into parts. I can see the parts. I can see the whole. I can see where I'm headed. And okay, that's what I want. And then work for it. And then, you know, little by little, you get better. And like, okay, and you apply it to other stuff. It's really kind of like a, what is that? A methodology. It's a way of thinking. A philosophy. That's what it is. It's a philosophy. The philosophy. The warrior. Yeah, that's what I talk about. The warrior and the hero. You know, if you're a warrior, sometimes you're like out in battle. It's like, okay, I don't care. You know, this is painful. This hurts, but I'm gonna do it. You know, because growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. You got to step outside your comfort zone sometimes. So here we go. We're gonna do this really fast. Watch how fast this one's gonna come in. I'm gonna just no tacking. I'm just gonna do it. Let's see. I'm gonna even do it in marker. Check this out. We're gonna really just boom, blam it in there. So here we go. So we got one eye. It's going right in here, right about there, nice and round. He's got his pupil right there, bam. Then this nose divides that space right in there like that. And so you can see him draw this a lot quicker. I'm not describing it, just doing it. Just do it. Just do it. You know, sometimes you just gotta just do it. Whatever comes out, comes out. Don't get so worried. Don't be so judgmental. Somebody told me, oh man, I wish it was like Adam and Eve. Wouldn't worry, wouldn't be so judgmental. People, I know everybody's a critic. It's easy to criticize. It's easy to, especially like they call it what, that Monday, was it, I don't know, was it Tuesday morning, Monday morning quarterback? Because it's easy, like after the fact, to say stuff, you know, oh, well, oh, would have done this, would have done that. Yeah, but in the moment, that's the hard part. That's really hard. You know, doing stuff in the moment, being in the moment. Yeah, afterwards, oh yeah, afterwards you can look back. Oh yeah, if you would have turned left, would have turned right, if you would have done this. Yeah, easy to say. And kids too, they're like, hey, you know, well, yeah, but you know, when you're in it, it's hard. It's hard to kind of like make decisions, and just got to do your best, and you know, say, okay, and reflect on it and say, okay, oh, next time I'll do this, next time I'll do that. All right. And that's what good with drawings, you know, next time I'll do this, next time I'll do that. Like in my, the one we did on Tuesday, oh man, those the ratios were off on those drawings. But that's okay. I'm gonna just go back and I learned from it. And then I go, okay, never again. Won't let that happen again. This hand I can't really see. I'm just gonna fake it. A little bit of an arm there. A little bit of a belly. Is it fitting? Yeah, let me zoom out. Yeah, the philosophy. Really, I mean, this whole drawing journey, this whole anything that you're trying to create, trying to make, you start off with an idea first, your kitchen cabinets, your whatever you're doing, or doing something at work. You kind of like begin with the end in mind. What is it you're trying to accomplish? What's your plan? What's the process? What goes first? What goes second? Third, fourth, and just do it. Learn from it. Bake a cake, whatever it is. Oh, this goes first. This goes next. Oh, man, this should have gone first. Like when my students drawing or painting trees, they always paint the tree first, and then they try to paint the sky. It's like, okay, you know, sequence. You got to think about what goes first. All right. And then I show them, see, you paint your sky first, and then the tree on top. Makes it a lot easier. But it's okay. Sometimes you got to learn the hard way, but not give up. That's the thing. People give up. Sometimes they quit too fast. All right. That was the mouse, a little faster. There is a shadow or a thing on this side. Turn my marker a little bit. There it is. I'm gonna really quickly look at crosshatch. Look at that. There's Spoke too soon, but yeah, really quick. Crosshatch shading with a marker. I see, trying to get that light touch. That's skills right there. There's a little bit of a shadow behind that arm. So I want to get this whole body. That's it. I'm happy. All right, let's zoom out. Oh, I am zoomed out. All right, I was there too. Then the awakening happened and we became at peace. Yes, I'm grateful to you, Ladio, for helping so many people. Oh, you're welcome. The thing is, we got to help each other. It's not just me. I think once we have this community together and I have my lessons together, I think more people help more people. Well, I'm an absolute beginner, so thank you very much. I am a visual learner, so this helps big time. Awesome. Thank you for your feedback. Yep. Yeah, break things down. Break it down. Problems, whatever. See the parts. All right. Let's see. I think we're gonna one more. What else? What's next? Oh, the gift, the present. Yeah, let's just do it. Yeah, the present. There's no time like the present. That's actually not too bad. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. This is just a cube. All right. So then it's just angles. Any cube, you want to see these angles. You want to see actually the point that's closest to us. That point right there. That's the point that's closest to us. Then you have this going straight up and down. I'm going to just do the cube first so you can see it. And then on top of that, we'll do the present. That angle there, that's the first angle or vertical. Then you have the Y. This is the Y. This from this point, it goes out back in this space. And then here it goes back in this space. Kind of like at that angle. There's our Y, right? Always start with Y, begin with Y. Your purpose, your reason. Why are you doing stuff? This is your Y. Yesterday's history, right? Tomorrow's a mystery. And today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. All right, so this is the present. You have your Y. Then you have this angle. These angles here, this Y is the most important because everything else kind of builds off this Y. And you want to practice drawing this cube because this is next level stuff. This is next level because from shapes, then you'll see cubes everywhere. Here's a dice. You can draw this dice here by understanding how it changes in space and how the angles change, right? It's all it's changing is angles. It's a square if you're looking at it straight. If you're looking at it straight, it's a square, but as it changes and moves, the angles change, right? And then if you flatten it out even more, then you have like a rectangle, like this box here. You see, this is still a cube, but the angles are changing as I move it, right? And learning to draw it and see it, how it changes in space, right? And on something flat. All right, let's get our parallel lines in. So we have our vertical line, that's straight up and down. We have this other line on this side, straight up and down. That's straight up and down. And then on this side, straight up and down. One of the basic forms here. Bam, bam, all right. And then here, that's our three vertical lines, straight up and down, vertical. Then we have this angle here. We have each of these have, from our Y has two more angles. So there's that angle here, and then there's this angle. This should be parallel or taper a little bit if you know perspective, but parallel is good. It's at that angle, and you just bring it down there. Bring it down, down around town. Bring it. There's a SpongeBob episode. Bring it around town. So there's that angle, and then at this point here, where this Y and this meet right here, this point, then we go back at that same angle. These three, 1, 2, 3. They should be like that. 1, 2, 3. Pretty much that same angle. They should be parallel. Paralelo, paralelas. There we go. Parallel. Now you see how I just went too far? That's okay. That's okay because this line right here, these points, you got to get the point. Know where the points are. These points. This point here is going to go back in at this angle, at that angle, that same angle going back. There's that angle, And it can taper as it goes back if perspective wise, but first you want to try to aim for parallel and then perspective. That's the next level. That's the next step. You want to progress. There we go, that angle. So there's that angle, and there's our box. Now let's put the lid on it. There's a lid that goes right about in here. That thickness, this point right here, see this point is where this point is just going back parallel with that line. And then this is going back parallel with the top and the bottom. There we go. There's the lid. Now the lid does stick out a little bit. So actually what we can do is actually we can do several things, but I think the easiest thing to do is make the bottom smaller, because that's the lid. That really is the lid. That's going to be the easiest thing, because we're not going to redraw the whole thing. What we can do is just bring the angles in slightly. There we go. That makes the top bigger and the bottom smaller. So I'm going to just bring in the sides, right at the same there. Bring it in slightly. And now I have a lid, right? That lid is just a little bit bigger than the box, like magic. There it is. See? Voila. It's magic. The Pepe Le Pew. My little sunflower. There we go. All right. Now that the bow on the top, that's going to be the challenge. But the bow is just a circle shape right in here. It's just like an oval shape. That whole bow right in here. See? Bow. Right there. See that bow? That bow is going to go right there. It looks complex. It is complex, but learn to see that big shape. Because once you see the big shape, then we can break it down into smaller shapes. Right? There's a lot of small shapes, a lot of detail stuff going on in there, but it's basically that space. And we just break it down. Learn to see the big shape and then break it down into smaller shapes. Then the wrapping, or this ribbon that goes around. The ribbon, these two little lines here would go parallel with these lines going back that way. And then it comes down, straight up and down. And then it goes in slightly. It kind of like around, like it's wrapping around that lid, and then it comes straight down. It wraps around a little bit right in here as it comes around it, and then it goes down. Bam, bam, there's that ribbon. And then it actually goes underneath as well. So it kind of passes that, it passes this bottom line just a little bit. It passes the bottom. Let me zoom in so you can see that detail. El detalle. Oh, mira que bien detallista. Yeah, it's the being detail oriented. Put that on your on your resume. Oh, I'm detail oriented. There you go. See, and I'm an observer. All right, let's do the same thing to the other side. You can see how it. Oh yeah, there we go. That's good. Then I'll bring it up to this other ribbon on this other side. Same way. See, we got these two little lines right in here. These two are parallel with this the left arm. Ooh, the left arm, right arm, and then the body. So for our box, this is Y. You should still see the Y, but this left arm angle is right there. That's the left arm angle. Ooh, I just came up with that. I'll use it next time. See if I remember. And then it curves around that edge, curves around, then it goes straight down like the body angle, vertical, that angle. These are all angles. See, this is why angles are important in rap. Ratios, angles, proportions, and then from shape to form. All right, so we're going to wrap around just slightly and then come down. Just a little bit of a push in, and then down. Same thing on this side, a little bit of a push in as it goes around there, and then just down. And then bump it out slightly and then bring it down. There we go. Should be a little bit like it's going around the box. See, there's a little bit of overlap right there, just that little bit of overlap. gives you that feel of it coming out and around town. Bring it around town. All this side is shaded really quickly like this. This is a skill. If you can do that, great. If you can't, you can see how I have like a little bit of space in between. If you need to like shade it really tightly and just shade it like solid, you can do that too. But it's good practice. Just try to get those lines with a little bit of a space in between them. It depends. Yeah, it's all skill. This is shading or texture, whatever. Oh, there you go. Bam. All right, how many people here? I think we might call this the last drawing. Everybody dropping out like flies. We got our hardcore heroes. I seen some regulars in there. Awesome. Keep it up. Keep it up. I know, man. We can go marathon here. It's already 9 o'clock. Jeez. Louise. All right, let's wrap this up. We're gonna wrap up the top here. Okay, so this is really complex. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. Try to see them big shapes, big stuff here. So here, I see this. We'll do this one right here. This is kind of like a teardrop shape. Right from the middle out to here, there's this big teardrop shape, like right there, like that. Boom. Look at that teardrop shape. I'm trying to see these big shapes. There's that one. There's and this encompasses another teardrop shape inside it. So I'll kind of do that as well. Kind of looks like candy corn or something. There's that right there. And here's another one that goes right up from that centerpiece. Kind of like right there. There's some overlapping happening, but I'm gonna try to simplify it. There's that piece. And then right next to it, let me see. Yeah, in between. Nope. All right, here we go. And then here's this one. Okay, so we have that in that space, and then we have another one right in here. But the way it all fits, I mean, this is a little more, it's a little tougher to do. And then there's this space, this shape right in there. Bam. 1, 2, 3. It kind of looks like actually, it looks like a little flower, because then there's a fifth one right in here. This is more of a rounded one. I'm saying it's rounded. There you go. If you get that shape, that'd be great. See that shape? That like looks like a little flower. And then we can build off of that. Yeah, I think so. We can build off of that. All right, we'll go around it. Okay, so you can see I'm building off of that. That's this part right here. That's that big bow. This is the first one. A little bit of a shadow on this side. I'm going to just put lines. And then the inside of that bow right here. And it's all shaded in here. See, boom, that pushes it back. There's that bow. And then there's another right in here, right in the middle of this side. Right in the middle of this side, it just comes up. And it's a little bit rounded. There's a little bit of a ribbon that kind of comes up in here and then down like that, right in here. So it's kind of squeezed in there. And it's behind, and then there's a little bit of a shadow in there. But there's hatching. This drawing has a lot of hatching. It's hatching, and that takes practice. And it's a shading thing. When you get to practice, but what's more important is the structure, like this whole cube. Once you have the structure, then afterwards, like, okay, boom, you just practice your hatching until you get it. You'll always have time to practice your hatching. Like your hatching will probably look like this, kind of like, all shaggedy. But then when you practice it, you'll get it a little more consistent, right? But what's more important is the structure first. All right, we're getting the structure. So here, this bow actually goes back in space at this angle here, that angle, up this one here. So we got this next one, this top one goes back, and then it goes rounded, rounded, and then it's behind this other one right in here. This other one here, this next one over, it goes around and down. And then it's another angle here from this bow, like that. Okay, so get that angle there, this here, And then there's another little one that's like right in here. Right there. Inside these, I'll just go ahead and shade it like in here. It's hatched as well. This is the inside of the that bow, the inside of this bow. And actually it echoes. So this right here, watch this right here. This curve is echoed like right in here, right in there, just a little bit. And then all this is kind of like shaded or hatched in here. There's shading, pushes that back. Right. There we go. And all this bow here too is all closing it up. Then we have here this curve right here, this ribbon. Whoa, should have been out a little bit more. Should have been bigger a little bit more. It's okay. But then this comes out at this angle, and this angle it does taper a little bit, and then this curve right here is being echoed on this side, because that's the ribbon that's curved right there. So this curve right here is echoed on this side, and this line kind of parallel. They do taper as it comes back. And then there's some hatching lines, not cross hatching, there's just hatching lines underneath to show that it kind of curves back and is dark. And then all these two are kind of shaded in as well. I'll just hatch them in, hatch it all in. There it is. See. All right, almost there. Have you done the 2 squares method? Ooh, 2 squares method. No, I haven't. What 2 squares method? 2 squares. No, I used to play 4 square as a kid.
Two squares method of drawing a box, I think he means.
Oh yeah, I've done that. Yeah, and that's really what's makes this one superior than the 2 square method. Yeah, you're right. Is the 2 square method you only get you get your angles, right? You have 1 square and then your other square like this, and then you attach those points. The thing is, this square here will always be horizontal, and this will always be vertical. You still have your Y, you still have your main point here. You have your body, you have your left arm and your right arm, right? So here's the Y, right? And then you have this coming back in space, and this coming back in space. But you're always going to be limited. This is always going to be horizontal. But here, this one is actually twisted. It's twisted, right? This box is twisted in space. Instead of, I don't know if it was in the camera right now, but you have your body, your left arm, right arm, and then the body echo 1, body echo 2, left arm echo 1, left arm. But this doesn't have you can't turn the box in space with this. But if I were to get this, and then I can turn another box like in that same spot, this vertical will be vertical. But then I can raise that left arm. And it's a good way to start. I'm not going to knock it. It's a good way to start, but know that you are limited. And it is a really good way to start. I mean, I'm not knocking it at all, but I want you to know, if you start where you start, but then you want to shoot it to the next level, and then progress forward. See, and you can change these angles. I mean, you can change these angles. You can actually bring this angle even up more and bring this angle out more. But the best thing to do is actually try to see these angles by looking at a chair or looking at something else. Because then I can change these angles here, bring that up, that angle here, and then you're seeing more of the top, right? You're at a different angle, but you're looking at these angles. You can see the Y, the main Y, and you can see the M, and you can see that, and then you can make this into all kinds of stuff. You can make it into a washing machine, right? A stove. I mean, this is where the drawing from imagination really comes, because once you know how to draw these forms, then you can, do all kinds of stuff. You can make this into a truck if you wanted to, add some lights, add the cab, add some wheels, right? You can make it into, just your only limitations, your imagination. It's the greatest nation, right? As you make this into a truck, maybe put, I don't know, just keep adding to it, adding to these forms. And if you have to start with this, you start there, and then you can add to it. You can make this into anything. Yeah, the only limitation is your imagination, even if it's just a simple chair, right? Bring the sides up and Bring that back. And then you start really seeing how things are constructed, how things are made. There's your chair. There's the back of the chair. Here's that. Make the legs. Make the seat a seat. There you go. Bam. All right. The 2 square method. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. And thank you for clarifying, Helen. Awesome. Teamwork makes the dream work. All right. Let's get going. Let's finish this up. Call it a night. Okay, so we've got this ribbon here. And there's the bottom to it, and it swoops. The same swoop here is echoed on this other side. And actually, ooh, that would be neat to do. I really like drawing ribbons. Actually, just get 2 pencils and kind of like, and this is kind of hard to do. Here's a tangent. Talking about tangents, see that? And then you just connect this point here and then connect that. And then here's your other ribbon. One goes over and this goes under. So you would erase that little part because that's behind, right behind that space. And this is behind as well. Although it could go in the front if you wanted it to, actually. It's really neat how you're bending space and time. See how that little, then the ribbon kind of like swoops in and out. And this is a really good exercise. I'd have my students do this all the time, making those kind of ribbons. There you go. Bam, look at that. And then if you wanted to close off that ribbon with a little triangle, see, and then shade it. And then shade it like it's rounded, going around in space, around the outside. Look at that ribbon. And that's what's happening here. All right, let's finish this up. Feel like I don't know. I hope it doesn't feel like it's dragging. I know I lost some people. All right, so there's this circle in here. This actually that other part of that ribbon right in there, and a little bit of shadow in here, cross hatching over it. There's that ribbon, that one ribbon there, a little bit of a shadow. Ooh, here's one, and I think I don't know. I'm not drawing it right, but it should go in here. This is another little loop right in there. There's a little loop, and that's shaded on the inside. And then out and then down. This is that hole, and this is echoes this loop right here. This part right here, it's echoed back there, and this is straight right there. That's what's happening here. See, this is straight and it loops, and then it echoes on this side, and that's what's happening here. This is the straight side, and then here's the loop, and here's the loop echoing. Drawing ribbons, and you can actually, I know this is online, so if you do a search for ribbons, drawing ribbons, how to draw ribbons, they'll give you a little more detail. It's a fun thing to do. All right, I think I messed up on my spacing in here, but that's okay. We're gonna throw in another loop in here. Take you for another loop. We'll just throw another loop in here. We'll just throw it in here. Nobody's gonna know. It's gonna be between us. And sometimes, all right, we missed it. It's okay. It's getting late. We've been here for a couple hours already. So there's that loop. There's our loop. And a little bit of a curve, and then it straightens, and then it curves back. Attach it. There it is. I see. Nobody's gonna know. Nobody will know. Just us, the people on the inside. On the inside. I'm on the outside looking in.
And the internet.
What was that?
YouTube
People-
recording.
Oh yeah, yeah, and the people who are watching on the tube, but I might edit it out, so I'll edit. Say there's no mistakes. No, just kidding. Happy little mistakes. There we go. And it's really problem solving. How do you solve that problem? Okay, okay, it's looking like it's floating too much. Okay, I'm gonna bring it down. I'm gonna add a little bit of a shadow. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And it's just figuring it out, making it full. But the thing is, you can see here, I have that shape that I'm filling it in. All right, we've got at least 2 more ribbon things on this side. There's one over here. Let's see. There's one loop here. And then there's another loop on this side right there. And that's it. See, a loop there and a loop there. That's the inside loops. Inside loops, we shade a little bit of hatching. A little hatching. And then the top loop again, it echoes, and then it's the straight side right there. Oops. And then on this one, it's our straight side right here, and then it loops in the back. There it is. All right, ta-da! Merry Christmas! Happy birthday! There we go. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. Oh man, that movie. I had a film class and we would watch movies. This is in college. And oh man, I don't know, I was going through some stuff. I saw that movie and I was just like bawling in class. Good thing the lights were down. We actually watched film. It was in a theater. I was like, oh my gosh, it's a wonderful life. All right, I get it. Yeah, you know what? Huh, that's interesting. I don't know. All right, I think that's it. That's it. Never heard of that method, but then I am a beginner. Yeah. Yeah, you should try it out at least once. The 2-square method, should try it out. It's not bad, but it is a little limiting. All right, there's that bow. It's not the greatest, but it's there. You get the idea, breaking it into parts, seeing the big shape first and then breaking it down into smaller parts. And then the shading with the hatching, there's like shadows and stuff underneath too of the bow. That gives it some form. Put a little bit of shadow, a little hatching underneath. And if you color it in, that's it. All right. I like that people throw stuff in the chat. That way I'm not just, I won't say the name and it doesn't come up in the video. And it makes it more interactive. Not just like watching a video, you're here. And if you have a question, throw it in the chat. That's it. We're going to call it a night. If you have questions, throw them in the chat. I want to help. If struggle is real, struggle is good, because it means you're actually, engaged. You're chewing on the material. You're like, okay, wait a minute, I'm struggling with this. Throw that picture in there. That the pictures that like here, this back leg. See, there's back leg from our cube. You're actually trying stuff out, and it's okay. Like, oh, wait a minute, what ratios? I'm having trouble with my ratios. All right, cool. Let's take a look. All right, then I can check your ratios. Or if you're having trouble with the angles, check your angles. If you're having trouble with the proportions, then you just practice proportions until you kind of get it, and then you move on. So first you want to practice your ratios, and just looking at ratios, you can simplify. See, there's a ratio video that I created, but I don't have it where it's supposed to go. So you can kind of go in sequence. It'll be there. It'll be there. It'll be there. When already? Yeah. Let me do my Christmas shopping, and now I've got a mural to redo or actually revitalize. They want me to revitalize a mural, a 25-year-old mural I did a long time ago. I think I have a picture of it. I sent it to somebody right now. I sent it to a friend. So I go to my email. So if any other questions, I'll stick around a little bit while I show off my old mural.
I want people to share. I'd like to see their rats.
Oh, okay. You want to see the rats? Good. So if you'd like to share your rat in the hat, you can raise your hand. We can share your rats. See you next week, Damaris. Good to see you. Newbie, I think. Anybody else? All right. Let me see map. Google Map. Oh, there's one hand. Lou. All right, cool. Let's see what you got. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Spotlight. Oh, there's your rats. Nice. That looks good. You got the form too. Very nice. Very nice. Solid drawing. That's really good. It looks like you've drawn before. Oh yeah, very solid. You got it. Awesome. You nailed it. Really good. Anybody else would like to share? Oh, we're down to how many people? We're down to, we're calling it a night. Like, I know the bell rings and like students like disappear. They scatter like rats. It's all good. Let's see, participants. Yeah, we're down to 8 or 7. Yeah, that's cool. I don't see any other hands. Anybody else want to remove?
Where are they?
I don't know. I see there's people here.
Was it Ellen who said, I want to see other people's rats?
Yeah.
That was me, yes.
Where's your rat?
Where's your rat?
Oh, okay. Well, I'll show my rat, but it's next to my horrible box. I just cannot do squares.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what, you need to practice. Buenas noches, ratoniles.
There's one of my rats,
There he is. That looks good.
and there's the other rat,
Good one. That's good.
and there's my horrible box.
Oh, your angles. I see. You're just having trouble with angles. You're having trouble with
Yep.
the verticals. Your verticals are going sideways. That's all. But you see, that's where you're struggling. That's where your struggle is. Your angles. See, so you need to know. Now you know what you need to practice. You need to practice looking for angles and use your pencil and kind of see angles. Go around. Okay, seeing angles. You almost have to. It's kind of hard to. Let me see if I can bring my camera up. I hate spotlighting myself. Oh, I know we got close up too. All right. You want to kind of like see, put your pencil up and kind of see your angles. You know, you're like looking at stuff and oh, look at that angle. Look at angles, right? Get your pencil and then practice angles. So that's going to help you a lot. See, and that's good to show your work and not, you know, get out of your comfort zone. You know something's wrong with your drawing or you don't like it.
I'm still spotlighted, I think. I can't make you bid.
Oh, sorry. Is that better? Let me spotlight
Great.
this.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so let me see. Where's my spotlight? There it goes. So then, yeah, holding your pencil like that. That way you can actually see like this angle here is not exactly vertical right there. There's that angle, and then here's this angle of that right there at that angle. The curtains back there and the towel back there need to clean. All right, cool. And you know, you can see these angles, right? Like the angles of the hills, the angle of the oh, it's so weird. It's like a mirror image. There we go. I see that angle. A little higher, a little lower. There it is. The angle of the hill, right? And the angle of these hills, right? So yeah, you kind of, but you have to kind of go like this, and then see you can use your finger here to see the proportions. I can use this finger here, and I can see the size of my head. There's my head. There it is. See, there's that size, and then I can see the width. The width is not as wide. So if we go here, let's see the width of my head. Bam. And then I can say, okay, there's the width. But then I can compare the width to the height. There's that width. And then you can just turn it and see. There's one to my lips and then a little bit lower. Right. And then that helps. And that's what you need to be doing. All right. But the angles is where you're at. That proportions, that was next. Ratios, angles, proportions, practice, patience, persistence, placement. We haven't really talked about placement. And that's it. Thank you for joining us. Let me stop the recording first.
Someone wants to see your mural